Good evening, everybody. This is John Seville, and this is your executive summary for stock setups for Thursday. Friday. All right, so let's have a quick look at the S&P 500. So we have rallied up into the resistance. I was having a look at the trend line here. We were looking at a possible head and shoulders there. We're still kind of just under the trend line. We could also be looking at that kind of upper trend line here. So anyway, we're still right underneath these resistance areas. This 2040 zone we've kind of been talking about, and still underneath this trend line we've also been discussing. Now, we did break above the 200-day moving average, however. So we've had some bullish action over the last 2 days, and but we do go into open range tomorrow as we crisp into this nice little fold of resistance. So really, tomorrow is going to set the range, which I will certainly be watching like a hawk. And that's going to, whether we break higher or lower than that next week, is going to tell us where the rest of the month's going to probably take us. It hasn't failed us hardly ever before, so why stop now? For a quick couple of announcements, obviously ALDW hit its target yesterday. That was one that we thought may pull back, and actually just went straight up and went right into the 1490 target. So nice 30% move there from where we'd alerted back around here on March 8th. So that was a nice little fallen angel that's gone through. Signs of reversal now, but we'll keep that on the watch list. SRPT on a rampage. I still hold calls in this, and obviously this is one of the stocks that we felt was going to be bouncing off this trend line quite strongly, while we weren't going to be too worried about the moving averages, and it just rocketed up 17% today. The March options that I'm holding up are 533%. So obviously tomorrow I'll be looking to sell those calls and cycle into some new ones. I believe I'm holding the 1250 March calls, possibly the 15. But I can't quite remember. Whatever's in the stock report is what I'm holding. But regardless, I'll look to cycle those into some later dated June calls, if possible, with a $15 strike price. So SRPT is one that I'd look to reposition into new options on, and has broken the 50-day moving average. Money flow has been breaking through positively. Really liking the looks of that. NMBL, one we talked about a while back, Nimble Storage, could also be a potential new long. It's just consolidating at the moment, but it's held really well. And well, obviously we need some bullish action to break through this kind of what seems like a consolidation zone on NMBL currently. And if we go back and have a look, if we zoom in and have a look, you can see that we're just kind of moving down in a, or moving sideways, this consolidation triangle. So obviously they break one way or the other. Money flow is currently positive, so we'll wait for that break to happen, but that's certainly one on our watch list. Now, the one new long that really kind of tweaked my interest is one we discussed in our advanced class tonight, SWM. Now, it's got great money flow divergence, and if we have a look at, let's have a look at the insider cow. You'll notice that there is no insider trading since 2014 January. So a real lack of any selling in the last 2 years. Also, if we have a look at the institutional transactions, you'll actually see that we've had 4 institutions all buy in the last several months. So that was very interesting, considering it's only a 9.9 P/E ratio. This one can have some guts to it. It was either going to be a good short if it broke down below this price, or a good long. I would still wait for it to cross the 20-day moving average, which is currently here at about 30.38, or I'd wait for the 9 and 20 to cross, whichever happens first, kind of thing. And but this could be a great potential long, and it has the potential of moving all the way up to the to at least this level, which is at 34.54. So that gives us at least a 10% return, and possibly higher up to the 50-day moving average at 36. So lots of upside potential, and I'd be looking at a stop-loss criteria below the low of this candle of 29.02, so we're looking at 28.93. So basically we've got a decent potential reward there, where we're only looking at about $1.50 for possibly a $6 reward. So there is the long. Now, in terms of potential shorts, there is one. Also, I've got on my watch list MCK. Waiting for that to load up. This one has been acting very bearishly, and obviously you can see that's breaking down. If we break below the low of this candle, or the low of that support, which was at 148.29, that could actually start a new zone of free fall. So as you can see, kind of that's back to where that gap up resistance was all the way back here in 2013, and that could take it to a drop down to the low of that previous candle of what are we looking at, 135. So that's about a $15 drop, or about a 10% potential return till we find any kind of real support. So that's one on my watch list on the shorts. Don't want to be too aggressive ahead of open range. So those are the only two new ones I'm looking at, other than of course the cycling the options of SRPT and the NMBL we've already been looking at before. And most important thing is keep your capital safe, keep your powder dry, and keep those smiles smiling. Happy trading, everyone. We will see you all next week. Take care. Good night.